Welcome to this week's episode of the 1 Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you're at, I'm grateful you're here, grateful you're listening. If you haven't done so, take a quick minute and go leave a rating and review for the show. It's really the only way that this show gets out to more people is by good people like you leaving a rating and review. And hopefully this podcast has helped you in some way. If it has, just help me out by going and doing that. But today we're going to talk about something that's really important in today's world, and whether for teenagers, for adults, honestly, everyone's something I struggle with. I don't know anybody who doesn't struggle with this today, and it's distraction. Here's the facts. Distraction is the enemy of action that is keeping you from gaining traction towards your life filled with joy and satisfaction. It is the one thing standing between you and what you want most in your life, because in today's world, we are distracted nearly all the time. And honestly, the truth is our attention spans are cooked. To steal the words from our teenagers today, they are cooked. We're in trouble because everything in our lives revolves around short-term bursts of gratification, instant gratification in the shortest of forms. If you think about anything you watch on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Yes, there are some long form videos on YouTube, but the reality is that short term is the way, and it's stealing our attention spans. And quite frankly, we don't even watch reels or videos on social media that are longer than 10 to 15 seconds. We lose interest. If we are watching something on TV, we have our phone in our hands because we always have multiple things going on. Our time is fragmented. And because our time is fragmented, it is limiting our ability to think. It is limiting our ability to grow. It is limiting our ability to move forward in our lives because we are so distracted all the time. There's a couple of statistics that great people have done research on, and one of them showed that teenagers can't go 5 minutes without picking up their phones. Another study showed that the average American picks up their phone 144 times a day. Teenagers on average are spending between 7 and 9 hours a day on devices. In fact, assuming your kids have either a tablet or a computer with school, because most schools are giving kids these tablets, these devices, but 50% of our kids' waking hours is spent on devices. And we're wondering why they can't stay focused to, do chores around the house or help out or whatever it is. We're wondering why they can't do it. And it's because that we as a society, and especially really the social media companies, but the tech companies out there, they have intentionally fragmented our attention spans, and we're cooked. We've got, in any given moment that we've got the ability to only listen to or watch a 10-second video. We've got rapid app shifting syndrome, I'll call it, where we go from one app to the next app to the next app. If you ever watched your kids on Snapchat, or if you have Snapchat yourself, it is a rapid, quick-fire process of watching one video, moving to the next, seeing a picture, moving to the next, over and over and over again. And we're wondering why our kids can't focus today in schools. We're wondering why they can't sit still. Well, the fact of the matter is that their brains aren't developed yet. And in the process of developing our brains, we've given them devices that fragment their attention spans and burst it into a million pieces. And we're wondering what's going on with the world. Well, what's going on with the world is that we've screwed it up because we are just so attention starved to always be on these devices, always be there. So parents, quite frankly, there's zero reason why your kids need a phone today. Zero reason. Yes, you got to get in touch with them. I get it. But it's the other stuff that comes along with the phone that they don't need. They don't need a smartphone. Yeah, there may become a time where you want to give them that. And I'm not, I'll just say this. We gave my daughter a smartphone when she was 13 years old. It was one of the greatest mistakes of my life. I think that the challenges we had in our home, different things, all stem from that. We made a mistake. With my son, we've made better choices. With my other daughter coming up, we're making even better choices. And so this isn't to shame anyone. This is just the reality. But parents, wherever you're at right now, you do have a choice to make. Whatever you did in the past doesn't mean you have to do the same thing in the future. Just because you gave your daughter a smartphone at 13 doesn't mean you have to give your son a smartphone at 13. But the reality is like at some point, I love the idea of helping your kids navigate the digital world as they get older, but young kids, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, there are zero reasons why any kid before high school would ever need a smartphone. All you're going to do is you're going to fragment their attention span, make it harder for them to think, make them feel bored all the time when they're not receiving that dopamine pump that goes straight to their head. And we look around and wonder what's going on with our kids. Well, the fact of the matter is that we put the device in their hand that divides their attention span, and we're looking around wondering what's going on. So there's zero reason why your kids need a phone. I was talking with a teenager once at a school assembly. If you don't know, I speak in schools all across the country. I'd love to come to your school, speak to your teenagers, speak to your faculty, speak to the parents. But I speak all over the country, and if you want, I'll put a link in the show notes for this. But I was talking with a teenager once. She raised her hand after an event. She said, "Hey, Mr. Tanner, I was checking my screen time this week, and it said that I spent 17 and a half hours on TikTok." And I was blown away. And she's like, "Hey, is that bad?" And she knows the answer to that, right? And honestly, it's interesting because we think our kids spend a lot of time on devices. When I share that factoid in school assemblies, every kid, their jaw drops. They know it's bad. The challenge is that we're so conditioned and we've become addicted to the dopamine pump of these phones that we can't break away, and our kids don't know why they're struggling. We as parents can tell why they're struggling, but we've made the mistake of giving them their phone. So it's something that we really need to pay attention to. And but there is hope, right? Just because our attention span has been cooked and we are living in this short-term gratification, instant gratification world, it doesn't mean we can't start taking steps to move forward and overcome that. So whether you're a teenager listening to this, whether you're a parent listening to this and you're going to help your kids, or whether you're a parent or an adult listening to this and you're having troubles focusing in general with your work, with your life, whatever, try these 4 things, because I believe they're things that I've done in my life, and I believe that they'll help you too. So number 1 is just create focus blocks. Create blocks of time where you are intentionally making room for focus. And so set a timer, set it for 20 minutes. Here's the key though. You can't keep your phone by you when you do this. You have to literally, intentionally move your phone to another room, to another place, away from you, because if you don't, it's going to distract you. Anytime we even see the phone sitting next to us, we feel like we need to pick it up because we're missing something. We've got FOMO, we're missing, whatever. Someone must have posted something. So you want to move the phone out of the room and stay focused. But there's a power that comes with that. When you intentionally separate from your phone, you are taking control of your life. When we don't intentionally separate, then we're not able to do that. So move it out of your room. The key here is we want to treat your phone as a reward for focus, not the reason that you lack focus. So create it as a reward. It shouldn't be the first thing we do in the mornings. It shouldn't be the first thing that we have with us all the time. Move it away from you. Number 2, create distance. We want to get as much friction between us and the apps and the things that are distracting us. So that could be, maybe you get a flip phone. Maybe there's a movement right now for flip phones. Get a flip phone, get an old Nokia phone. I think they're launching them again, but separate yourself from it. You can get a device like Brick or Bloom, which will literally brick your phone. So if you try and go to Instagram, it's going to say, this is a distraction. You cannot do this right now. And again, move your phone to the other room. But the more friction you create between you and instant gratification, the more you rely on staying focused for the things that you're trying to accomplish. The 3rd thing is this: finish the tasks that you're on. We leave these mental tabs open in our mind all the time, and we're kind of going like, and I'm the worst at this. This is probably my biggest fault. I've got tabs open all the time. I'm focusing on a million things. I'm running a business. I'm trying to grow the business. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to post content so I can help people. I'm recording podcast. Like, I got a million things going on. But when I've got a million things going on, then I've left those tabs open. And we want to mentally close the tabs by finishing our tasks. So whether that is something mental or that is something physical that you need to do, finish it. In that 20 minutes where you're setting a time and you're being focused, finish the tasks so that you can move on. And when you do that, you're going to feel something in your brain. It is still dopamine, but it's not instant gratification. It's coming from long-term satisfaction. It is the most powerful dopamine you can have, and you want to repeat that and replicate that over and over again in your life. The fourth thing is this: you got to be intentional. Be intentional about the time. In today's world, if we are not intentional with our time, we will always be unintentionally distracted. It's just the way the world is today. But this is where we're at. We didn't grow up in, horse-drawn carriages and buggies or whatever. We're in today's world. Social media is not going away. Technology is advancing. AI is here to stay. All of these things are here. The question is, are you going to let it control you, or are you going to control it? In today's world, if we are not intentional with our time, we will always be unintentionally distracted. And so you don't have to know everything that's going on. You don't have to scroll all the time. You don't have to be intentional about the things you're taking into your mind, and it will create focused intention on the output that comes out of you. It's really important to do that. And if you look around, you look at successful people, if you look at people you admire, it's because they've done this, right? It's because they've been intentional with their time to move forward and create spaces in their life for success. But when we're spending all our time distracted, it becomes really, really hard to do that. Our attention span today in the world is cooked. It really is, but it doesn't have to be. You can shift, you can make changes, you can step in and impact your life going forward. And today, this week, try it. Try any of those 4 things. Create a focus intention block. Set a timer for 20 minutes. If 20 minutes feels too hard, set it for 10 minutes and then increase it to 15. You control that, but the thing is, be intentional about it. Number 2, create distance. Create space from your phone and the apps and the things that are distracting you. Number 3, finish the tasks, because if we are jumping from task to task all the time, it's really hard to be intentional on the things we want to move forward, and we're just increasing that amount of distraction that and limiting our attention span. And then the last one, be intentional. Be intentional about what you're going to allow into your mind, who you're going to follow, what you're going to do, where you're going to spend your time. And when you do that, you make the shift forward in your life. So anyway, I hope this helps you wherever you're at. Grateful you're here. Share this with one other person. Share it on your social media, your Instagram stories. Tag me at Real Tanner Clark. If you could go take 10 seconds, leave a rating, a 5-star rating and a review for the show. It helps me a ton. And I'll leave you the same way I always leave you. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.